John, how's it going, mate? You okay? You don't obviously you don't want to be seen on camera. You've got a lot of pride. You don't want to be seen, but I've been talking to you now for the last 45 minutes, and you're a really interesting fella. And where are you from originally, John?
I'm a Whittle lad originally.
A Whittle. Growing up, what was that like for you?
It was very, very difficult.
It was difficult.
Yeah, very difficult. Yeah, my dad was quite violent.
Towards you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How's that affect you growing up?
It's had a lot of effects on my mental health. The way that I conduct myself sometimes. And the positive things, positive things in my life as well, because I always wanted to be a better man.
Yeah. Proven wrong type thing.
Yeah.
So, have you ended up homeless?
It's basically down to I lost my partner, and my life just went to bits. My head basically went, and I couldn't cope. I just started using drugs, drinking more.
To block out the pain.
Yeah.
That was your coping mechanism.
Yeah. I started speaking to doctors, and they just weren't really interested.
How long have you been on the streets for?
A few months now, like you mean, but just as a single male, I'm not a priority.
Yeah.
I was sat on the seafront last night, and I was talking to a young couple, a young professional couple, and we actually met in the queue of McDonald's, and I'd made enough to get myself a burger, and I was going to get myself a burger and then go and get a can, and then just find somewhere quiet to sit and drink and think. And we ended up sitting down on the seafronts, and there was so many really aggressive, really unpleasant. I'm not sure how to put this in a legal way, should we say?
Yeah.
But non-English speaking people.
Yeah.
In hotels that are very expensive.
Yeah.
And they were being very disrespectful towards other British people.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
Very intimidating.
Yeah.
Very intimidating.
Do you think, John, if they come over and they just abide by our law, and because it's very different from where they're from, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Do you think that people would be okay with that then? But you're seeing a different side, especially you're seeing it quite a bit, aren't you, where they're being intimidating?
Yeah. See, when it comes down to racism, as a white European, you cannot be racially discriminated against. There is no equality there.
Yeah.
There is no equalness. If a white man or a white lady is abused or disrespected, there is no case.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the coin, I understand. Yeah, I understand that. A lot of generations have been brought up to think that you know, the past colonisation and things like that. You know, that they feel that's their sword to strike out with.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We're all God's creatures, and it doesn't matter whether your God is Allah or whether your God is Jesus.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, why not love? Why war? I witnessed him as a homeless guy. I witnessed the martyrs. And I heard the threats, and I've been subject to some of these threats as well. You know, if it was the other way around, if it was you or I, then you know, we'd be locked up. We'd be locked up for racism.
Yeah. You feel it's one way? Racism's one way?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. I suffer with mental health also.
Yeah.
And as I say, I recently served a small sentence, and I was denied my mental health medication, which had been on for over 10 years. I didn't receive that medication.
Does that make it worse?
They actually told me that my doctor said that I wasn't on any repeat medication. I'm also on inhalers as well as mental health medication. They actually told me that my doctor had told them that I wasn't on any repeat medication, which is an absolute load of rubbish.
Yeah. You used inhaler, and you got COPD, haven't you, as well?
Yeah.
John, do you feel safe at all on the street? No. What's one of the worst things that's happened to you?
I've been set on fire.
You've been set on fire?
Yeah. I've been peed on. Spat at. You know, go and get a job. I'd love to get back to work. I worked, I worked, you know, right from being like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Brought up a family.
Do you think that more than being, you know, more than the physical abuse, the fact that people shout abuse at you like that because it's your pride, isn't it? Yeah. You've obviously got pride, you don't want to be seen because of you've got kids, I mean, you don't want your kids to see you. Yeah. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
You're a very proud man. So, yeah, fuck's sake. How do you think others view you, John?
Probably as scum, you mean? Some kind of rodents.
Yeah.
You know, I do find a lot of that.
What's the most valuable lesson you've learned since being on the streets, though, John?
To keep my respect. To keep my respect for people. You know, I'm always very respectful.
That's amazing, that. That's you've got a lot of hope as well, haven't you? Like you're quite a religious.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You're religious.
Yeah. I know the Lord's kept me alive. I've tried on many occasions suicide.
Yeah.
And as I said to you earlier, you know, it was a beautiful lady that came to me, and told me straight that you know, if I took my own life, I wouldn't go to heaven. I wouldn't see it ever again. So I just carry on, you know, from day to day, just get on with what I do. Yeah,
John, you've tried numerous times, haven't you? Yeah. Your mental health is not good, is it, at all? No, and you've tried numerous times, but
some people think that it's the coward's way out. It doesn't. Do you know how much courage it actually takes to, you know, to do that? It's one thing in scratching yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a difference between cry for help, isn't there?
Yeah.
And actually intending to do it.
Yeah.
How can the general public help you, John?
I don't think there is. I mean, there's such.
Like last night.
Sometimes sitting, you know, talking to good people.
Yeah.
You know, such as yourself, and as I said to you earlier, you know what I mean. I had the privilege also of sitting with a young couple last night.
Yeah. So just conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just being acknowledged.
Because, you know, we're all still human beings.
Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't matter what we've done or where we've been or, you know.
Yeah. What makes you happy, John?
The sun's shining.
Yeah. We're not getting much of that now, are we?
The Bible.
The Bible makes you happy. It's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's a really good answer. Is there anything that you'd like to say to people who do judge you?
If you could walk in these shoes, you'd realise that
it's not easy, is it?
No.
And people have every...
You can't judge because there was a situation not so long ago, and there was a couple that were being deliberately aggressive and nasty towards me, and I was being really polite, and I said you know, anybody could end up in this situation.
Yeah.
And there was another couple that actually overheard that, and they said, leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know, he asked you nicely, you mean, if you had any loose change, I mean, for something sweet. So, a couple of months later, I'm walking past the same spot where I was sat, and this same couple was sat there under the sleeping bag, doing exactly the same thing as I was doing. I was just on my way to the takeaway. I just somebody had just given me a couple of pounds to get something to eat. And as I came out of the takeaway shop, somebody gave me a £10 note. And they said to me, listen, get yourself something to eat and a warm drink and all that.
Yeah.
I went back to that couple and I said to them, I said, have you had anything to eat? And they looked at me funny. And I said, I'm just asking you, I said, have you had anything to eat? And I've got a takeaway tray in my hand now.
Yeah.
And they're thinking I'm going to go like that, yeah. And I said, yeah. And I gave them the £10 note. And I said to them, I said, you don't recognise me, do you? And they both went like that and looked at each other and went, no. So I told them how they could recognise me. And I said, do you remember what you did to me? And they both looked at each other and said, wow, why have you just given us a £10 note there? And they started getting quite aggressive, you know, one of them.
Yeah.
And I said, the reason why I've just given you that £10 note, I said, what somebody's just given to me, I said, is because, take it as being a lesson. As you were told, anybody can be in this position. Anybody can be in this position.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. There's a saying, isn't it? You're only a couple of paydays away from... But not even that. I mean, you don't know what's around the corner, you know, with your mental health. If someone passes away, you don't know how you're going to handle that, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
You told me how old you was, and I couldn't believe it. You know, you physically, you still look in really good shape, to be honest with you, John.
As I said, I struggle. I really do struggle, you know, with the disabilities I've actually got.
Yeah, I won't say what, but you've showed me a few of your parts of your body that shouldn't be like that. I won't give too much away, but you are struggling physically as well as mentally, aren't you, mate?
Yeah.
Listen, John, thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you for your time.
Thanks, mate.